Flores Ventura, also known as Punk Rock Skate Dad on Instagram. Today I'm going to be going over the GI Joe Retro Awe Striker, which is a Walmart exclusive. This is the box art for it. I know a lot of people have seen it, and I know a lot of people have been looking for it. This one's been really hard for me to find. I was able just to find it today. I've actually come across a bunch of hisses. I truly do believe in the upcoming weeks, these are going to be pretty readily available. As if you look on Walmart, if you go inside, you can actually see they're starting to sticker where these are going to be at. So hopefully they're a little bit easier to come across than the Target classified figures, which I know everyone has been upset with. And along with the figures, I've come across pretty much all the figures other than the Baroness and Scarlet. But I want to compare the two vehicles and show you guys what the difference is. They're very minor differences. Clearly, if you're a collector, you're not going to be fooled. You'll be able to see the difference. But I gotta say, I am really impressed with how they've made it. I don't think anyone's going to be too disappointed with it. If you like the size of the figures, you're going to get exactly what you wanted and what we've all wanted, which is just this actual 4-inch figure, well, 3 3/4, whatever we want. These figures are all 4 inches, we all know that. So they don't always fit, but I will say there's a couple things that I did find that they made them fit. So let's get into the vehicle and the box art and comparing them. Alright, so to start with the box art, this I think is one of the coolest things. You actually have that retro look. I know the one thing that some people did complain about, and it would have been nice to see, was they did drop the A Real American Hero right across here. But other than that, you have the box art, which gives you back that 80s feel. The thing that I did notice on the hiss and on this Awe Striker, which I do like, is that with Crankcase here, they did change the way that he looks. They redrew him to look like the actual figure, which is a nice little touch that you'll see here. So here's what Crankcase actually looks like. Nice little touch to make him look just like you see. So it's not the original one, which I went back, pulled up the picture, and you could actually see that the helmet was different. The shoulder pads, everything was a little bit different. But Gung Ho and Dusty and the actual Awe Striker all look pretty much the exact same. Even going with keeping this dark and black rather than green, which is actually on the Awe Striker. So that's the box art. The back here, you have your file card. The figure is actually set up similar to what the original looked like standing in the back. Now I will say this, I'm not too happy with the file card. I don't really want to see him in other languages. Hasbro, I mean, let's not be so cheap. If you're going to send them out to France, give French ones. You're sending them out to the United States, we want it in English. I don't need all these different languages for my file card. I would assume every country would be the same way. Let's give us, our language and a full file card. And for this, it doesn't even tell you very much, other than just a little bit, unlike the original file cards. But it's nice that they gave you the file cards. No flag points. That'd be kind of cool if they went back to flag points too. All right. So now let's move on to the vehicle and the figure. All right. So here are the two different crankcases. The new one does not come with a weapon at all. I actually just grabbed one of his weapons because I had two of them, two different crankcases. So I threw it on this new one. I figured, let's see how he looks. Would have been nice if they would have given him the gun, or a modified version of the gun at least, but they didn't. But what you do have is your two crankcases. He has his standard red hair. as you can see, the design is pretty much to look the exact same. You can't really complain too much about it. As you can see, he's running the green. He has, you know, your suspenders or your harness. Guns are in 2 different spots, but nothing, you know, that you're gonna get too mad about. You know, back is the same for the most part. So I think the figure is pretty nice. I will say this, it seems, to me, I actually like the original Crankcase a little bit more. I know I seem to have kind of a big head. I'm just not too thrilled with this. I'm just not really feeling the new Crankcase, but he fits real nice into, you know, into the All Striker. Now onto the All Striker here. And now, here's my original All Striker. It's not complete, as it's missing one of the antennas. The stickers are pretty much all gone right now, and I'm missing the tube. But for the most part, we can compare the two, as here is the new one. And when you compare them side by side, if you were just quickly looking, you probably wouldn't notice which is which. But there are some subtle differences, nothing too major. The one thing that is actually different is on the hood, the retro one does not have a line right down the middle, where the original has a line. Not too big of a difference. The texture is also different. You'll notice that, along with the green is a little bit. So the original actually is smoother. The retro is a little rougher. It's not rough, but it's a little rougher. I do like the way the cannon on the retro is set up a little bit better, where with the original here, you had this piece that is snapped in and normally would get loose, and your cannon would kind of wobble up and down. This one here, it just pops off. So rather than it snapping on, you have this piece here, and it just slides right on like so, which is pretty nice. It looks the same for the most part. Once again, you can see where they put a nice little hole here. They didn't fill it in, where the original, you don't have that issue. Both of them, I'll show you here, both have the engine compartments that come off. That's your original, and here's your retro. Engine is pretty much the same. The retro is a little bit darker than the original. I haven't checked to see if they can swap them. They probably can, or they made it just so you can't. The grays on other spots, like on your suspension, is actually lighter than on your original. But for the most part, it's a nice looking vehicle. I don't think anyone's gonna have any issues with displaying it with your original figures. If you don't really care about the classified, this is really the only thing new that it looks like we're gonna be getting, at least for a little bit, is 6 figures and 2 vehicles. Hopefully there'll be more down the road. But as you can see, it's pretty much the same. So let's say you got an All Striker, and this was something that you always liked, but you don't want to spend the money on an original. It's not bad to have. I think for the most part, everyone's going to be pretty happy with it. So that's my conclusion on the Retro All Striker, which is a Walmart exclusive. Talking about the box art, which once again I really do like. It's a nice solid box. So when you open it up, you can use it to display, display later on. I like the idea. I've actually been toying with the idea of kind of making a Toys R Us aisle for myself and using some of these retro boxes to give it that feel of when you used to look down the aisle. Again, here's your retro compared to your original. I like them both. And if it's something that you want, you're going to be happy. It's going to fit in with your collection. It's not going to stick out like a sore thumb. As a matter of fact, I think most people wouldn't even recognize it other than that your figure is different. And once again, the figure is a little bit taller because they went to a 4-inch figure. They still want to call it the 3 3/4 line, but it's not. So the 4-inch figures sometimes do cause an issue fitting in the vehicles. Anyway, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Like my channel. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my name is Punk Rock Skate Dad. And I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you.